I find it funny that channels on YouTube like Entertain the Elk and 10TV have videos titled The Day South Park Died. I would like for those creators to look at the Hong Kong protesters in the streets right now and tell them South Park is dead and doesn't matter anymore. Over the last few days, South Park has become a symbol for the Hong Kong people to rally behind. Because coward companies like the NBA and Blizzard are allowing the Chinese government to mandate how they do business. What is the mass media doing about it? Oh, well, ESPN told their staff not to talk about it. The NBA won't allow questions about it.
Excuse me, we're taking the basketball questions only.
It's a legitimate question. This is an event that's happened this week during the NBA. This particular question.
We live in such a backwards reality that the greatest symbol of hope for these oppressed people is South Park. I think Randy Marsh said it best in South Park's 300th episode.
Fuck the Chinese government, there!
Yep, that's right, folks. Episode 300 aired, and Randy Marsh in hilarious South Park fashion told off the Chinese government. The voice of reason also coming from Towley.
I'm never working for a company that's regulated by a communist government.
Okay. No more selling to the Chinese.
This video is a giant middle finger to everyone that says South Park is no longer relevant, to everyone that says that South Park has lost its edge. South Park is doing more for humanitarian efforts than literally any other company that I'm aware of. Mind you, I'm not exactly aware of a lot of companies. I mostly just watch cartoons and movies and play video games. I think it's safe to say that Matt Stone and Trey Parker don't care about Chinese censors, or any censors for that matter. That's just who Matt and Trey are as people. Trey was on a podcast once and said if they ever got canceled for pushing things too far, that the truck is already packed with their bags in it and they're ready to head out at a moment's notice. They don't care who they tick off, even if it's so bad it ends the show. Probably doesn't hurt that they're also worth $500 million. But even when they were a small cable show, they never shied away from controversy. Hell, the owner of the Rockets is worth $5 billion and he's still sucking up to China. There's some hypocrisy I would like to point out on this in the midst of this on Comedy Central's side. First, I have to give them credit for celebrating the fact that South Park was banned in China.
Congratulations to South Park for getting banned in China in their 300th episode.
Not web.
Comedy Central, however, is owned by Viacom and is one of the production companies listening to China. They are responsible for censoring the new Top Gun movie. Apparently, they censored a Taiwan flag on a jacket worn by 70-year-old Tom Cruise. Also, Comedy Central and Viacom are still responsible for censoring 200 and 201, which is the controversial Muhammad episode about free speech. So they're patting themselves on the back for promoting free speech in China with South Park, but they're still listening to China through Viacom and changing Top Gun, all while banning images of Muhammad on South Park. Is any of this making any sense to anyone? Who the hell writes these rules? I have no idea. I also want to point out that this image was deleted from my Twitter account. It's a list of all of the US companies and the demands they adhere to from the Chinese government. Here's some of my favorite ones. Disney and ESPN forbids any mention of Chinese politics while discussing Rocket Manager's pro-Hong Kong tweet. Marvel censored the Tibetan monk from Doctor Strange and turned him into a white woman per the movie's screenwriter. He said, if you acknowledge that Tibet is a place, that he is Tibetan, you risk alienating 1 billion people who thinks that's bullcrap. Mercedes apologized to China for quoting the Dalai Lama. What, the Chinese government doesn't like the Dalai Lama? TikTok censored some videos that mentioned Tiananmen Square. Marriott fired someone for liking a freaking tweet that was pro-Hong Kong. I would like to conclude this video by saying the people of America, and myself included, do not dislike Chinese people. We support them. It's the Chinese government we do not agree with. I saw a post where some lady was worried she would be hated by Americans for being Chinese because of everything that is happening. I think I speak for most people when I say we do not blame the citizens of China for the actions of the government. Alright, I'm gonna take a break from this China stuff and go watch the Breaking Bad movie El Camino. I'll have a review coming up soon. See you next time, guys.